Thank you for joining us on Local Flavor. I'm Deborah Anderson, and I came to my friend Corinne's house today because she always talks about these cinnamon rolls and things she makes. And then she has her family over and makes them, and we're supposed to get the leftovers, and they always eat them all. So we're going to have to learn to do it ourselves.
Yep, that's right.
So, Corinne, how'd you learn to make this stuff?
Well, from my mom. I come from a family of 8 children, and my mom was baking something all the time, constantly, and cinnamon rolls was something she normally had for us every day almost of the week. So, but my mom didn't do it with a mixer. She did it by hand, and I've kind of changed it up just a little bit with the mixer.
And so you used to make these every day too. Why?
Well, back in the late 80s, we had a business called the Home Pantry, and we actually converted our basement into a bakery. And awesome. We made cinnamon rolls, pies, cake, well, not really cakes. We decorated cookies at Christmas, Thanksgiving time, all kinds of cinnamon rolls, peanut butter twists, all kinds of things.
Today, which you're making today too. And then you delivered them to the grocery stores in the area?
We did. We packaged them and we delivered in Logan every day of the week, Monday through Saturday. We delivered to Hill City, and we also delivered to Moreland and Lenora grocery stores. And those were like every other day of the week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So it kept us busy, especially when we had 4 little kids in the house too.
Oh my goodness. So a lot of these things that you made start with the same dough, and that's what you're going to teach us to make now.
Exactly, right?
Okay.
Right. So first of all, just for a basic sweet dough, you're going to start with 3 eggs. And normally this recipe is going to make, well, probably to do it right, I better do it in. We'll make about 2 dozen rolls. But start with your 3 eggs, and I throw these right into the mixer and get them going.
Do you want me to start it?
Yep. Go ahead and put that down, and there you go. And turn it on just a stir. That's good. And to that, then I'm just going to add a 1/2 cup of shortening. So you can just dump that right. Nope, you don't have to stop it.
Oh,
not unless you're going to be real dangerous with it. But yeah, just throw that right in there. There you go. There you go, and just let that go.
I'm a big mess at my house, so I have to use the pour shield. We'll see how this will go without it.
I don't have a pour shield. I wish I did, but that's not something I've ever used. Okay, and then in the microwave, we are going to take a cup of milk, and this is whole milk. No, not in there yet.
Oh, sorry.
Just into the microwave, and to this milk, I'm also going to add 1 stick or a 1/2 cup of butter or margarine. I've got Bluebonnet margarine today. That's what I will use.
I noticed in all the recipes that I read ahead of time, you really prefer to use the margarine. Is it because it melts so much easier?
No, actually, I probably use 1/2 and 1/2 now. But when I was little, my mom used margarine for everything because that was the thing, and that's what I've always grown up using is margarine. So I'm going to put this in the microwave and heat this up for about 1 minute, 30 seconds to get it going, to warm it up, melt the butter.
It'll probably help melt this too then.
So we got that kind of going, and I'm going to add a cup of hot water, and this is water right out of the tap.
Okay.
So as hot as what you like, you just dump that in there and just let it go.
That might melt the Crisco a little bit, maybe.
Yep. Okay, so while that's heating up, then what we're going to do is we're going to put the dry ingredients together. And in this bowl, I've got 4 cups of flour.
Okay.
And
is it like bread flour or just plain old all-purpose?
It's all-purpose flour, but I like Hudson cream.
Oh.
And that's milled right here in Kansas. That's what I use for all my baking is Hudson cream flour. I really like it. And so to just the 4 cups of flour, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of sugar.
Okay.
And then 2 teaspoons of salt. And then 2 packages of pasteurized yeast.
Okay, so I've never used this before. Why do you like this, or why is it?
Well, this yeast doesn't take any time to get it to growing. Like the normal yeast, you have to put it into a little bit of water, put your yeast in there, warm water, a little, sprinkle your yeast on top. Yeah, it's okay. It's just the margarine. Put that fake stuff in there. And then you sprinkle a little bit of sugar on that and you let that set. And then that's what activates the yeast. This is pasteurized yeast. You add it right to your dry ingredients.
If we were going to buy it in the big containers, how much is the equivalent of the package?
If you buy it in the big containers, I usually figure 1 tablespoon per package of yeast. So you would use probably 2 tablespoons of the yeast
Well,
for this
sometimes I
recipe.
do that. So,
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so let me get the liquid. It's melted, and so in here, again, we have a cup of milk and 1 stick of margarine, butter, and you just add that right to your eggs, like that. And then just dump this right on top of it.
You don't even have to whisk it together first?
Nope, just dump it right on top and just let it go. I guess if you had a hand mixer or a different type of mixer, not a KitchenAid, you would just beat this with your hand mixer because it actually is not stiff. It's not a stiff dough yet. So you let this, and I usually let this beat about 5 minutes. So turn it up.
We've let this go about 5 minutes, and it looks really stretchy in there. So
Yep.
are we ready to use it?
Yes. Well, we're not ready to use it yet.
I knew you would have a condition.
We have to add a little bit more flour. The stretchiness is the gluten that comes, I don't really know, sure, the proteins, whatever, in the flour. Ask Gerald Wyman about that.
Okay.
So, but, anyway.
That's true. I don't smell the yeast as much as I thought I would. Do you smell it? No. I have a little bit of a cold.
Okay, okay, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding a half a cup of flour at a time, and you just kind of let that mix in till that kind of disappears. And like I'm a mess in the kitchen, usually. I'm actually being kind of good today. Normally I'm not.
Use a spatula for something.
You get that in there and it'll chew it up. Actually, I don't use a spatula when I make my bread dough at all, but you look very nice holding that.
It matches
It does.
it matches my logo.
Yeah.
Now, so how did you know we'd already done an episode with Gerald?
Oh, I watched it on TV.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
So, yeah, he knows a lot of the science behind all that stuff.
He does.
So, do you know him then?
Yes, we went to high school together.
Oh,
We were
my
classmates.
goodness. What school? In Hayes then?
No.
You didn't go to Hayes.
Nope, we were from Ransom, Kansas.
I don't want anyone to think we have an arrangement with the Ransom High School system as a training ground for future local flavor episodes, but that is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we were in the same class. So, and as I add more flour, you can kind of see it's kind of coming up the blade.
Is this when I want to switch it out?
No, not
Not
yet.
yet?
No, I like to mix
Not the
in
other
as
one.
much flour as I can using that blade instead of the dough hook. And it usually takes an additional cup and a half of flour before
I can smell the yeast now.
before it really starts, where I just want to get it just before it starts crawling up, so it's a mess to have to clean your mixer.
Oh, okay.
And yeah,
Make it a mess.
no, there we go. That looks good.
Oh,
So
it's
then,
looking like a beehive.
yep. And you just take this and you just,
Well,
yeah. Oh, there you can use the. That's good, Deb.
I love spatulas.
And I love my fingers. I love using my fingers. All right.
All right.
That's good. All right, then you can put that one on there, the dough hook.
While we were waiting, Doreen told me she's had this mixer since 1986. We almost always, when we have mixing to do on local flavor, everyone agrees the KitchenAid is the way to go, and I think that's awesome. You've had it so long.
Yep, and again, we'll just start. And this dough here, it might take another cup. The recipe, depending upon how much liquid you have in it, and what kind of flour you use, it may take up to 7 cups of flour total.
So another 3 cups. You're putting in how much at a time?
A half a cup.
Half a cup.
Yeah, and you just let that mix in now with the dough hook.
Was that 4? You put in 4 half cups?
Yes. So I've added now for the
think
total
we're getting
recipe.
close.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll probably take another half a cup.
Okay.
I feel like it probably will, because once this kind of gets mixed in and it kind of kneads for a while, it'll get a little sticky again. And
Plus,
so
when you're on the dough hook mode, it's slower.
it is. Yeah, the kneading. In the olden days, this is what you would have sat there with your your heel of your hand, and you would
I
have.
just can't imagine doing that by hand. Well, you've probably seen it done. So.
Yep. A lot of times. So.
It smells awesome. It smells really fresh.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put in another half one now?
I will. Let me turn it down a little bit, or we'll have flour all over the place.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll go ahead and sprinkle in another half a cup of flour. And maybe not quite a half a cup. I'll just let that sit there and go.
I'm trying to get it off the top. Oh. I just want to mess with it.
That's what you're supposed to do with dough. You're supposed to mess with it. I like to keep mine where I touch it and it's just a little sticky.
It is a little.
Yeah. So, okay, now I want to turn that up just a little bit.
Get busy.
Hopefully, yep. Pull the rest of that stuff off the side.
You want me to do it?
No.
No, let the dough do it. It'll pick it up.
See, it's going to break down like that, and then it's going to all form back over into, it'll work itself down and into a ball towards the bottom, and probably more of it will start sticking to the side.
Yeah, it's sticking to the side.
Yep.
Uh-oh, do we need to add more flour?
Not yet. After I go through this part until it gets, it'll pull the rest of that on down.
I'm just testing it. I read the recipe and it said you do it until your finger doesn't stick, so.
Well, yeah, but you're dabbing it with a spatula.
I know. It looks like there's 2 lumps at the top.
Yeah, it'll work itself way in. I've never had it look like that before. There it goes. So we'll turn it up just a little bit more.
These little motors go and go and go.
Yep, they're good mixer. Okay, I think we're about ready. We'll try it. So just touch it with your finger.
The real finger?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about right. I just kind of like it so it's just kind of sticky.
It feels like it's going to stick, but there's none on your finger.
Right, right. And actually when the dough does set and become a little bit more, as it rises, it's going to feel a little stickier than this, but it's good. It'll work it good.
Yeah, I'm surprised you picked this for your bakery. This is a lot of work.
It's not really that much work, especially when you have a huge mixer. I don't remember offhand how big our mixer was, but I think it held a 25-pound bag of flour instead of like 7 cups. So yeah, it was a big mixer that we had downstairs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bowl and that I will put some oil in. And what I do with this is I just add a little tiny oil to the bottom of the bowl. And
good luck getting
swish it around a little bit. Good luck getting that out. Yeah, this is where you use your hands. And you reach in there and you just grab it and you pull it out of the bowl. Right like that. I always kind of work it in a little bit. What I'm going to do, put that in there, then you flip then you flip the dough over, and now you've oiled the top part of your bread. And what that does is it helps the top, as it's rising, keeps it from getting a crust on it. Okay. And then I'm going to cover it with some saran wrap. And whoops. There we go. Good. And we're going to set it back and we're going to let it rise. It might take about 45 minutes to an hour for this dough to rise, but you will want it to rise till it's about double in size.
This will be my personal piece here.
There you go.
Okay.
We'll let you make a cinnamon roll out of that. Okay, I'll set it back on my stove. I always let my dough rise on the stove.
Is your stove on? To
It is on. It is on.
Okay.
A lot of times if it's warm in the house, about 200 degrees, I have it on, and then I turn it up. Once I roll the dough out, then I will turn it up to about 350 and let the rolls rise on the oven then.
Okay. So how long are we going to let that rise?
Probably about 45 minutes.
Oh, man. Let's go find something to do.
Okay.
We'll be back after it's ready. So it's about 45 minutes later, and this is our dough after it's risen for a while.
Yes.
Now, are you going to punch this down and let it rise again?
Nope. Nope. What we're going to do is we're just going to punch this down. We're going to divide it into, yes, but not rise again. And we're going to work this dough into cinnamon rolls, peanut butter twists, and also sweet petals.
Okay, so there's 3 different things that you're going to show us to make with this.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and just call this our episode for the sweet dough, and we'll have some more episodes for you later on to show you how to make each of the treats that she mentioned. Thanks for joining us on Local Flavors.